yeah, man, let's do it. Let's get pumped. It's Monday. Normally you're lazy, you're tired, you just like float around all day.
No, man, I feel like fighting.
I know.
Feel like fighting.
Getting aggressive.
I feel like you just said a really funny joke, but we're throwing glass tables into ourselves.
It's pretty aggressive.
That's how you do.
I'm always afraid, like, if I threw someone into a glass table, I would throw them at the right angle to where, like, they would actually be pierced by a piece of glass and, like, it would kill them. And I would feel horrible. Like, that's what...
Why would you ever throw a piece of glass at somebody unless you wanted to
I would throw them onto glass, like, to break them, to, like, for a cool, like, special effect. But, like, I actually killed them on accident when I just wanted it to be a cool takedown.
My older brother, he ran through a sliding glass door, like people have, you know, out to their back patios.
Yeah.
He just bolted right through it so fast, in fact, that he didn't get cut anywhere, but a giant shard of glass fell down into his pants.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's really awkward. Anywho, guys, into the game. That's just like how gravity works and how things work.
I'll slowly tell that story over the course of the next like 4 or 5 casts because that's actually
it sounds like a good one.
It gets out of control. Let's start with what's in control for now. A 0-0 game.
Right now, in the very far top left corner, from Prime, currently up 1-0, I believe, in Fight Club. Took out Sting, of course. It's going to be Creator himself, currently 0-0 in the matchup, but looking to take his second victory, start getting that bounty going on him. In the very far bottom right corner, his challenger. It's going to be Liquid's very own Zenio.
That it is. CVP, a very, very entertaining matchup for sure. It does have a very established meta, though. It's one of the things maybe I could say against its credit.
Yeah.
But it's got one of the more exciting engagements. I mean, that game the other day, actually, who was it that Sasquatch played?
Versus Value.
Yeah.
That was a game that was absolutely ridiculous.
That was absolutely insane. Value, of course, has changed his name, formerly Cyrano. If you guys haven't heard, you know, the new best Value.
I'm interested to see what Zenio's going to go for. For some reason, when I think of Liquid, he's always the last Zerg I think of, for some reason. I don't know what it is. But he's the guy that just kind of floats around. And I think I've only seen him once in a Pro League match, and I think he actually lost that match. Other than that, I haven't seen too much gameplay from him as of recent. I know he did pretty well in Code S when it first began. I think he made it to the 2nd season in terms of Code S, and then I think the 3rd season is where he lost and fell out of it. If I remember correctly, I may be a little bit on the wrong side, but the point is he had really good early success, but following up, nothing's really shebanged out of Zenio, if you will. So kind of curious if this could be maybe his turnaround. Takes out Creator Prime. That would certainly make a huge bang in my book for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean Creator, one of the best Zergs in the world right now.
Or Protoss.
Yeah. Of course at BWC, taking 2nd place against Parting. And has, ever since, continued to maintain that reign of dominance.
Yeah.
Performing incredibly well at various events, now here in Fight Club against Zenio. It shouldn't be too difficult of a match for Creator from a lot of people's perspectives, but...
I mean, if he plays like he did last Monday, he's going to destroy.
He dominated.
I was lucky enough to be able to cast that, and just the way he played the game, the way he read the matchup, the way he set himself up in every position to just take advantage and win was just absolutely ridiculous. The thing is, though, I feel like PvZ is a little bit more hectic. There's a little bit more crazy shenanigans that happen, and that might be a little bit off for Creator. Now, of course, he's a fantastic Protoss player, as you just mentioned, but, you know, maybe Zenio can catch him off guard or something in some form. Absolutely, and that's one of the things that Zenio is so good at doing, actually. I mean, a game, I believe it was versus Alicia on Terminus, displayed his ability to go for some very unconventional builds in CVP. We've seen, you know, a 3 hatchery Baneling bust out of this guy, and that's something that's pretty nuts. I'm surprised the Creator actually hasn't made an attempt to get back into the main base after being in there his first time. Looks like now he's going to send his probe out across the map. We'll see if it can get inside, but honestly, there's queens out on the field at this point. Here's our double gas going down for Zenio. That probe's not going to make it. Well, something to note just in terms of just ZVP by itself, you know, the Creator goes for the double forge for a majority of his matches. He really loves gateway play. It's actually a little bit easier for Zerg players to actually out macro, if you will, a Protoss player that wants to go for double forge upgrades. I mean, you can always play a little bit more macro oriented, and look at this. Zenio actually sees his 3rd right away. And he does. Going to give him a lot of information there. We'll see his reaction to it. We see 6 Zerglings actually popping out, but that's mostly just to deal with this Stalker that's giving some light harass, maybe work on these rocks after chasing the Stalker away. He's actually going to go for the surround on it. How many gateways does he have right now, Creator, after he gets away for sure?
Is he actually just on one still, I believe?
Yeah, this is what I was talking about in another cast that I was doing. We've seen a lot of Protoss players against Zerg going for one gateway into a fast expansion. And they just, when you see that your opponent's gone for a really quick third, then for the most part you can save it pretty nicely. The problem with this map though is there's rocks right in here between the natural and the third. It makes it a little bit harder to guide between, or glide, if you will, between your natural and your third with the small amount of units that you have. If you do have one gateway, you're usually following up with a lot of sentries and teching out behind it, so force fields are very important. Luckily, Creator to go ahead and subsidize this. If you look outside of his third, he immediately threw up a nice little wall and outside of Creator's wall. A photon cannon, a couple of gateways, and that slows down any link pressure. Now, this would be a lot easier to break if it was roaches, because right now, what does he have, like 3 sentries on the field? He would eventually break through either the natural ramp or the third, because he would run out of energy. So, but it doesn't look like Zenio's going that way. So, anywho, really quick, while we do have a couple of minutes, chillax for a little bit, I wanted to remind you guys of a giveaway that we're having this week. I'm actually really excited for it. It's an Origin PC.
All right. Well, we will be figuring that out eventually. Of course, we've had quite a bit of giveaways going on for 2013. So our producer just giving us some notes. Deciphering, so funny, man. Various languages within. It's actually crazy the amount of stuff that has to go into making a production like this. But here we are. Now in a situation of fair stagnation. I feel like maybe some mosquitoes should be flying around here in a minute or two.
Yeah.
You know? There's definitely a lot of blood sucking to be done with all these Zergs flying around. Would mosquitoes, however, would they actually like feed off of Protoss units? I don't know if that would work, man.
I guess if they like were
Can you imagine
biologically
if you popped a
engineered
mosquito and it splattered blue everywhere?
Yeah.
Like,
it'd be pretty disgusting. And it,
Pretty
I don't know,
awesome.
doesn't
What are you
mosquitoes like use half the blood they have for like actual nutrients? Like they
That would
actually
be a fact
absorb
that you
it.
would know,
Yeah,
really?
I think so. I think they actually use it for the nutrients in it. They actually get like the majority of their vitamins and whatnot.
and actually
from
just
sucking
becomes part
blood.
of their body.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like the lizard in the desert, how it absorbs water. This game is really freaking passive right now. We got +1 on the way, finally. Gotta follow up into an evolution chamber just a tad bit later. It seems like Zenio just isn't sure what he wants to do. But this is a good response to Creator himself, because we just know that he goes for double forge. You know what you do? Just go ahead and flip into tons of tech and you get your own. You just out-tech him. Try to find a really good engagement in the middle of the map, because you're texting me on equal tech compared to Creator. I mean, he might have a little bit more of a timing because of Chrono Boost, but overall, with 4 bases, he should be able to overwhelm Protoss player if he doesn't engage correctly. But finally, Creator's really starting to hammer out a lot of units here. He's got a decent amount of gateways, starting to follow up into that robo that he goes into, which would, of course, be great against these small amount of lings on the field.
Yeah, it absolutely would be. A lot of ground units here for Zenio. Well, by a lot of ground units, we should specify, you know, it's mostly ground drones, actually, 70 drones. To 67, though, for Creator, not a bad position at all for a Protoss player from Team Prime. Going to be falling back now with these speedlings as he sees Creator begin to move out on the map. However, this is an entirely gateway-based unit composition. Only 3 sentries with this army. I don't think Creator really intends to pressure here, and in fact, you know what, he's going to fall back very, very quickly. It looked like that was just a maneuver to force units out of Zenio.
Well, immediately 6 infestors are popping out, 14 lings as well. And Zenio recognizes this after he made the first initial wave. He goes, okay, he's pulling back. I already have the map control here for the Zelnaga. I have an Overseer in the top left corner. There's no way that he's going for any type of attack, so he falls up into more drones. Thing is, he's getting a little bit heavy on the drone side. Right now, he's going to fall up into Spire here. There we go, starting to move into Spine Crawler tech as well. So really just hammering out the late game composition that you normally go for.
He has not managed to see anything yet, though. Zenio has no idea what's in this unit composition. All he's seen is gateways, gateways, gateways. He got a glimpse of the robo, so he says, man, but you're probably making Colossus, but I don't know how many you have. So we see the Spire just in case he's completely askew right now, because note, I mean, he doesn't have a hive. There's no hive on the way. He just wants to be safe and be able to make Corruptors in case there's an overwhelming quantity of Colossus that he hasn't gotten a glimpse of yet.
So he's going to go with layer tech here. So Ling, Roach. Very strong composition. He's actually going to go with a lot of lings here. And like you said, there actually is, he has no idea how many Colossi are on the field. Or actually, there's only 1 Colossus on the field right now. Yeah. With that being said, suddenly these lings actually become a little bit more powerful, because even though there's 1 Colossus on the field, it really can't put out that much damage that fast. If there was a full surround here, even with Force Field, I feel he might take a lot of damage. He's going to have to be a little bit on the careful side, and he doesn't want to push out until he gets about a 2nd or a 3rd Colossi on the field. And you know what? His play is kind of rectifying that. Look at his 4th right now. He's actually going for an expansion and is kind of defending it. Creator is up in the top right corner. So overall, very, very passive from both players, but that's because they're just reading each other and they're just trying to out-tech each other. Essentially a tech war overall.
Yeah, it really is. Lots of upgrades for both of our players. Creator substantially, you know, he's about to finish +3 here, but I guess we've got Zenio actually investing into double upgrades. Got a ton of spine crawlers in home. It looks like Creator is getting ready to move out now that he's got some splash damage with this army. Things are going to have to fall back, but there are a lot of infestors here.
Yeah, there is a good amount.
This is so many speedlings, though, and not that many spines.
If he lands a really good fungal, though, I think he might be okay. Although there are a lot of zealots here. What are the full upgrades here for Creator? If
Three
click on them,
in just a second.
So,
it's done.
So 3-0. Actually, those zealots are really strong. A nice fungal, though. Can't follow it up, though. Stalkers are in the way. Needs to start pulling back. And the spine crawlers, you're right, they're not finished up. And that's just going to cue Creator to move forward. And actually, these lings are kind of just stuck here by the zealots. And these Colossus actually spread very nicely here for Creator, doing a lot of damage. Corruptors do come on the top right side to do some damage as well. But it looks like Zenio is just dying. There's nothing really happening here.
What? And these rocks are still on the map right now, so there's not going to be a way that Zenio is going to be able to group his forces from his main and his natural with the forces from his third and fourth, and this is going to be really hard. Zenio needs to stop these units as they spawn. He cannot run them forwards to the army. Does so successfully on the right, but not on the left, losing a couple of lings. Now Creator moving forward. He's got more Archons with the army. A Colossus still lives as well, and this is going to be very difficult for Zenio to engage, but he does have an opportunity for a big surround here.
Stalkers moving forward, Archons in the front. Really immaculate control here by Creator, actually. I say that, and the Colossus getting in trouble, but he's pulling it back just in time. The Archon takes a lot of that damage there, because it looks like Zenio just kind of A-moving in. He's not really focusing ever. And it's kind of hard to do that Lings, but with the Roach follow-up, maybe focus that Colossus really quick and then pull back. But
there it is.
Overall, Creator just seriously out-teched, out-macroed Zenio, and just won the game straight up.
All right, guys. Well, that ties up game number 1, and it's going to go pretty decisively to Creator. Zenio definitely was still perfectly fine in that game. We can give a little bit of props to Creator, definitely in like moving out across the map and then going back home. That was really cool. And just keeping Zenio pretty in the dark. He didn't know what to expect. He had like, how many Corruptors did he have there? I mean,
he had like 8, I think, that did pop out, and he went straight for the first Colossus on the right side. But even then, I feel like they went off to a different area. I think he didn't even bring him in for the second time for the second Colossus, because he had enough actually to deal with them. Or perhaps, of course, I may have missed it, but Creator may have sniped them really quickly, because he did have plus 3-0. So that really helps out in terms of getting rid of those.
It devastated those
Corruptors very quickly.
1-1 lings or 0-1 lings. I know they didn't have a +2 completed, so.
I don't know. Zenio he played the tech game, but he didn't play it right. And then whenever the engagement came, he was just a little bit behind those spine cores, and he was just scared to engage, it seemed like. If you get a chance, you need to bring those lings in from a couple of flanks in the middle of the map and maybe try to get a nice couple of fungals to follow it. But his infestors are really far back as well. He lost like half his lings before his infestors even got a fungal off. So I don't know. Just a weird engagement and just kind of a weird play overall. Just hopefully he does better in game number 2.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to cut to game number 2 after a quick commercial break. The map will be Daybreak. We'll see you there.
Can't you see?